a relationship, uh, starting a relationship that you have to start a relationship by having a relationship again. Let me start that like again. So before you jump into a physical relationship with someone, then hey, let's just make sure you are friends first. And then once you become friends, then no matter what happens, then you can sustain that friendship, that relationship. When you go through bad times and slow times, because people are quick to get a divorce now before they even figure out what's going on because they don't know the person. Things like that. So that's to me, that's sustaining the relationship. It's starting the relationship first.
Pause one moment. Pause. You please forgive us. I'm like, what is going on? It's not live.
Oh, okay.
We
So
were trying to find the link.
I see live up there in the corner.
So we're gonna have to reset. Y'all okay with reset?
Restart. I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we live now, right?
Live. Hey, live.
Hey.
Hey y'all, it's Keena and Eddie. And it's Will and Nikia. And we just started, and I'm getting messages like, "You're not live." I'm like, I thought we was. What's going on? Please forgive us. When you're trying to do all of this technical stuff behind the scenes. But we are introducing Eddie and Kina Smith from Dallas, Texas, and they will be talking tonight about how can a couple live a strong, sustainable, and successful marriage. Eddie and Kina, take it away again. Now, since
can y'all read our bio, please? Read our bio. Please.
Oh, Mom, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Get her straight, baby. Get her straight. Tell us, like, who y'all is. Like she say, tell them who I am. Eddie and Kina Smith have been married for how many years? 22 years. God has blessed them with 4 handsome boys, Donovan, 27, Kyron, 19, and twins, Darren and Keenan, 15. This family lives in Dallas, Texas. Eddie and Kina are both ministers and are currently co-youth pastors at New Beginnings at Mountain View Community Church in Dallas. Eddie is a colonel in the Army and worked at Texas Christian University, and Kina is in education. How long have you been in education, Kina?
Like 13 years.
Long time, girl, a long time. A whole lot of transitions in that time, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
A lot.
They are a dynamic and an awesome couple, and we are just excited to have them a part of this tour, to be collaborating with them. 22 years, they done learned some things. Being in the military, they've learned some things. They've went through some stuff together. So I can guarantee you they are the right couple to be teaching us and giving us some tips and advice on how to live a strong, sustainable, and how to have a successful marriage. We are now going to yield it over to Eddie and Kina Smith. Take it away, you guys.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Well, like I'm on program. Welcome. Hey, guys. Thank you, Will and Nikia, for this wonderful opportunity, this platform for Eddie and I to share. We picked this topic, how to live a strong, sustainable, successful marriage, because, like I said, we are going on 22. Just celebrated 22 years, March 18th. Yay! And my first thing I said right out the box is that what's helped us is that we are equally yoked. We are both Christians, believers. We love the Lord. God is in the center, middle, end, front, side, everything in our marriage, because without him, we'd probably be what? But we both believers. We worship God together. Like I said, we co-pastor at our youth at our church. Just very heavily involved in church, and I just think it's very helpful that you have that in common. Let Him continue to lead and guide you in your marriage, the Lord, and then also just let Him continue to pour blessings upon you, and I think that's very helpful when you continue to seek Him in all His ways and acknowledge Him in all His ways. So I know that's the number one thing for me. And then secondly, we were talking about Eddie was talking about starting having a relationship, starting a relationship first, and we were friends first before we even thought about marriage. We were friends, and I think we learned each other within that year before we really, started dating. So I think with us, we just had fun. We had fun together, did stuff, went to concerts here and there. So I think that just getting to know, and I like what you were saying. Go ahead and share about the starting a relationship.
Okay. So we're actually live this time. All right, just kidding. All right, so like Keena was just saying, again, thanks guys for letting us come on to your platform. This is great. How to sustain a successful relationship or marriage. We are by no means what would you call it, experts in this field, but however, 22 years, I guess that counts for something, whatever. So we're gonna, yeah, what we were discussing is having a relationship is interesting because in order to have a relationship, you first have to have a relationship. Oh, amen. Like you gotta have in order to have a relationship, you first need to have a relationship. So what does that mean? That means that first of all, in 2022 and 2020, every year, whatever year it is, everybody wants to jump into bed with each other, and you don't even know their name, you don't know their last name, you don't know their middle name, you don't know their cousin's name, you don't know nothing about these people. Mom and you don't know anything about them, but yet and still you are so attracted to this physical body that you want to experience it with them, whatever, right? You want to try and jump in the bed, have sex, whatever with this individual, but yet you have no idea who you are bonding with. Science has said that when you bond with somebody, you automatically get some endorphins or whatever the word is released, and you have an immediate bond with that person forever. So be careful who you lay down with. I'm just putting it like that. Okay. So, we have to get to know each other first. We were friends, like you said, went to concerts, we did, had fun. Prior to even, thinking about marriage or relationship like that. So secondly, one thing is in that you need to, when you stop, everyone wants to move in together immediately. We got to stop that, first of all. Okay. So that's just me. The second thing is don't rush what you're trying to do. Because when I'm basically I'm building a foundation, because you're trying to sustainable relationship. You can't build any house without building a foundation, right? The house has to have a solid foundation in order to go up and sustain itself and be able to be there for years. If you don't have a solid foundation on that home and the foundation starting to crack, what happens? Then all of a sudden the walls are starting to crack. I felt that one too. The walls starting to crack in your house, and the walls started cracking. The windows don't seal as good as they used to. Why? Because the foundation was no good. So that's what you're talking about. So we're seeing relationships fail within 2 years, 3 years, because there is no foundation in the marriage, none. Right. So that means that, hey, I met Johnny at the club, and me and Johnny we hanging out, we gonna get together, and what's Johnny's last name? Man, I don't know. Johnny just felt, oh, okay. All right. So all right. So we need to look again. We need to figure that piece out, and then get a foundation in your relationship. Once you have a foundation, then you can start building on the walls of your relationship. And that's pretty much where we are. We built the walls up. We got the houses up now, and we're just basically at this point, sustaining the home. Another thing we talked about is when you get angry at your spouse, what are you saying to your spouse when you or your girlfriend, male boyfriend, whatever? When you get angry with them, what are you calling them? Are you calling them still by their name? Are you calling them honey, babe, boo, all that stuff? When you all gooey, they boo and babe. But when you get angry, are they? Can we cuss on here? I ain't gonna say nothing.
Stay safe.
When you get mad, instead of calling them honey, babe, and boo, you call them some other B's and some other B words and all that other kind of stuff. So that's where we're going to. We really figure out where we are with that in that relationship. If you calling your spouse some other B words besides babe and boo and all that stuff, then that ought to tell you something right there, that your relationship is having issues, because you wouldn't be calling someone in your relationship outside of their name. That's just not the way it works.
Yeah. But that's good stuff.
Yeah,
right there.
I gotta preach. But anyway, so things like that. So you want to look at that. Don't get angry and speak outside of the name and all that kind of stuff. Then you want to keep on moving. We can keep on going as you go on down the line. You have to be able to obviously. I told my little cousin this the other day. They were on our YouTube channel, Conversation with Ed and Keena. But they were on our YouTube channel, Conversation with Ed and Keena, and they we talked a little bit about, because they're about to get married next year, and we were discussing some things. And I asked his Mikey's his name, her name is Shannon. And they were talking, and we told Mikey was like, Mikey asked the question, and the answer came out simply as, Mikey, keep understanding that the person you marry today is not the person you're going to be with in 5 to 10 years. It's just not going to happen.
Because we change, we're going to evolve, we're going to mature. And I think it's, I didn't cut you off, but yeah, it's very important. And we weren't raised like that. Nobody, you just want to be married, So they don't tell you that the person changed that you married. And you got to be ready to love that new person. And then you got to be ready to love that other new person 10 years down the line or whatever. Or it could be something major that happens in their lives, a death of a family, loved one. Are you going to be able to handle that situation when it happens? Because that person does change when they lose a loved one. Can you be, sustain and push through those times? So I think it's very important to make sure that you be prepared to love that person through the changes and the evolving of their, as a person.
And also, not only that change, you also looking at physical changes. I'm still sexy. I'm still sexy like I was. Oh yeah, you there you go. Yeah.
How you gonna say you first?
Well, that's right. You're right. So, but yeah, so physically, we're gonna change, right? That's why that relationship is so important in the beginning. The foundation is so important in the beginning. You got to be able to trust, love the inner person and who they are. Not to say that they're gonna get all out of shape and all, whatever, but they're not going to. Their physical features, time has its place in everybody's life, right? So all this right here, this little salt and pepper stuff, I wasn't salt and pepper 22 years ago.
And mine covered.
Wasn't like that 22 years ago. So you got to understand that you're growing into a new person, and you have to grow together. What you said, being equally yoked. If you're not unequally yoked and you're not going down the same highway, then we got a problem. We talk about it all the time on our, we all tell you about that. My favorite thing is what? If you got two crackheads. What about them two crackheads?
Oh, they're going to get along real good.
Two crackheads get along beautifully because they are equally yoked. And they both are wasting their money together. They throwing it out together. And they both over there smoking that crack pipe together. And they are just blissfully happy. But when you are on unequally yoked, say Keena over here is on that crack pipe. I can't be on the crack pipe because I'm in the army. They'll kick me out. So I can't be the one on the crack pipe. Got to be Keena on the crack pipe. But let's say if Keena was on the crack pipe and I'm not on the crack pipe, and we're going through it, and Keena just got to have a hit. And I'm like, will you stop? I think you wasting all our money on this hit. You keep getting this hit. We on unequally yoked, and we are going in two different directions. That's just a mini example. But we're talking in real life situations. We're talking about what? Maybe, house. I want a house. I want to move on and get a home. I want to get a
new car. But if that spouse is not in agreement or doesn't care, or like I said, if you're trying to move up and that person is fine and comfortable,
I'm content right here where we are. Yeah.
Then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a conflict, and the other person in the marriage is going to get frustrated because you're trying to, like I said, we knew when we got married we wanted a house. And we got a house almost immediately after we got married. But that's something that the little bitty things in relationship, whether you're married or dating, talk about those things. Do you want kids? That's something beforehand. Right. Do you, like I said, do you want to have a marriage? I mean, I'm sorry, house. How many cars you want? Anything. The little smallest things. Small things can make a difference. Can make a difference. So.
My favorite one is what? Do you like the toilet paper over or under? Do you like do you want the toothpaste in the middle or on the end? Do not squeeze my toothpaste at the middle. I want my toothpaste squeezed on the end. I'm so sorry. So therefore, those little things can make a difference. You would be surprised of the things that people argue about. And then what about finances? Please talk about your finances before you even think about getting married, because your finances are the biggest cause of divorce there is. And so make sure you're talking about finances before you get married. If you want a sustainable, successful relationship and marriage, make sure you're on the same page about your funding and your finances, because if you're not, then one spending, one not spending, or that's my money, your money. Yeah. What is that? So everything is one. God said, you are now one. Two shall become one. So we need to figure out all this stuff before you get married. There are several successful marriages with separate accounts and all that kind of stuff. I do not knock that. If that's what if you work that out and that's what you do, and you talked about it, and you got a plan, go for it.
Yes.
If you are us, we do one account. That's just the way it is. We do, it's the way I was raised. I think that's what she raised. We do one account, and that's just the way it works. And we
do have our own little play money accounts, we call it.
But all income comes into
one account, so we take our bills and everything out of there.
And we pay everything from that one account. So it's not like we ain't arguing about you didn't pay the light bill. Why your light bill cheaper than my water bill? I ain't have time for that. So they got to figure all that stuff out ahead of time and let you know that what's going on there. And I think things will be so much simpler for you and work out so much better for you.
And like I said, we're not knocking if you have separate accounts. But like I said, it just make sure that it works.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you talk about it, because I've had several friends been on the phone with. They mad because he didn't pay his bill and your bill is higher than his bill, and it was just a lot. But that's important though.
Yep. So what else? Just make sure. I don't know. I'm running out of words to say, guys. Y'all gonna come on?
I said we have hobbies in common.
Yeah.
Can we share that real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
I said we love to travel. We have traveled national, internationally. Love it. That's with kids, without kids. So make sure you still have time to travel without your kids.
That's a great
I'm not a big fan of, because you had kids, everything stops.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to.
Okay, kids. Can I bring that up real quick? Can I talk about it?
The little cheerings.
I'm gonna talk about them real quick. Kids are great. They're sustaining. They sustain your life, and you want to sustain your name. They want to, you want to keep your family going. That's what happens. Kids got to do that. Otherwise, the family dies out, right? So God said, be fruitful and multiply. So we multiply. All right. But there's, like she said, there's time. You have to spend time together without them. Right. So just because you have kids and they're little, okay, get a babysitter and spend your time together. Everything, you cannot allow your child or your children to interfere with your relationship. If this is a grown show, is this a grown show? This is a grown show. Hey, y'all come back. This is a grown show. Come on, I couldn't see y'all face. This is a grown show. Are we grown? We grown? Okay. I see a thumbs up. We grown. So therefore, you need to keep the kids out your bedroom. All right. I'm just gonna put it out there. You have children. If your kid is one, I put it this way: when our babies were little, when they were in the bassinet stage, yeah, they were on the outside of the bed because I ain't feel like we ain't gonna get up and walk up no stairs and walk around the car. You lean over out there and stick that bottle and keep it going. One hand on the bottle and one eye closed. But then when they're old enough to get in their own room, put them in their own room. I'm just speaking from me. They need to get out of here and get out of your room. Get in their own room. Get their bedroom, and your bedroom is your bedroom. Their bedroom is their bedroom. They don't need to be in your room with you and just basically interrupting your whatever pleasures that you plan on having in your bedroom. They can't be in there. So you need to move your children out and have them in their own space. But we can't put it enough that you got to enjoy each other. In the time, there have been many times when we leave. I believe the twins was what? How old were the twins? They were like babies. Like 6 months, we went to Paris. The twins stayed home. They wasn't going. Sorry. So we went to Paris when they were like 6 months old, maybe. But you got parents, you got support group that's gonna take care of them. You gotta trust that your support group is gonna help you out and take care of those children and your family, so that you can spend some of that alone time, that time together, whether it's a cruise, a trip, a weekend, or something. So
go out for dessert, ice cream. So just in other words, we're saying keep dating.
Yep.
Don't stop. Yeah. Even when you build a family.
Yeah. And in saying that, it is very important because we are guilty of not being very attentive to each other. We're doing better. We're trying to get back on track, but
I do have a little one, don't you? I do have a little one, right?
Yes.
The bonus baby.
And so when life was different, and so trying to adjust and just survive a baby, it was like, oh my God. And so now trying to get back into the dating one another, making sure that we create that time for just us, it's very important.
It's important.
And
Yeah.
something else, when I'm listening to you guys speaking, I mean, it just takes us back to the dating environment. Nikia, we started to date right after we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And
For 46 days, so we wasn't doing much dating, right?
For 46 days, it was
that we got married in 46 days, so it wasn't much dating involved in 46 days.
Wow, that's cool. Okay.
I know, right?
And I was probably the most boring person. No, for real, Eddie, because something that we don't share with a lot with people is I was fasting that time.
Okay.
When I connect to Nikia, I'm fasting, and the very first thing she did was like, I don't know what you're fasting for, but you know what? Let me just jump and we're gonna touch and agree. I was like, all right, okay. Touch and agree. That's for you. I'm fasting. So it was more. We were in that period. We were just talking about the Word of God, praying. And she just started to have revelation, about me, my family, things. I'm talking about deep things that only me and my family knew.
Wow.
And right then I was just like, okay, yeah, girl, let me tell you, you're my wife. Let's get married. She was like, what's the catch? Are you legal? Are you a citizen? No, I'm not, but you're gonna make me one, baby. I'm telling you. But we started date right after marriage, and to me it doesn't matter whether you date before or you date after. The word said, for this reason a man shall leave father and mother and cleave or chase after his wife. And I'm chasing my wife. I'm not chasing a chick out there. I'm chasing my wife.
Chase
Can we go dancing though?
Oh yeah, baby.
It was chasing.
But no, what you guys are saying is,
you notice she slowed down just so you can catch it.
I'm telling you, bro.
Right.
But I have a question for you, Eddie. And this is for the men out there who get so caught up in their own thing or what they do. But I want to ask you, how does your military background help you navigate your marriage?
Ooh. Okay, so military can be, it can help or it can hurt. The reason I say that is, I'll say, let's go back to the background. How, to answer your question, the military gives you discipline. Number one, it gives you a what's the word I want to look for? Where you are rigid, I guess you could say, or you structure. That's the word I'm looking for. Military gives you structure and it gives you discipline. So when I say structure, I mean when we look at a marriage and a family, it gives me. I'm probably the most structured one in this house. They'd be laughing at me half time because I'm like, hey, we gotta do it this way. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Let's stay on point. We almost there. Let's keep it going, right? Hey, how do you want to make sure we get this? I'm like, I go to Keena. Okay, so here's the plan. What do you think? You think we should stick with this, going this route? Blah, blah. I'm a planner. I like to make sure things are planned out and it's going that way. And this is how we can get there this way. We want to, when we were trying to pay our bills and stuff like that, I was like, here's a plan. What do you think? If we go this route, we can do this in this amount of time, we're done. And she's like, okay, that sounds good. Let's do it. And so, that's the kind of thing I think the military has brought to our relationship, our marriage. It's brought the structure, the piece, and the planning phase, because we do a lot of planning in the military. Everything at my level is basically strategic planning and how well you can get things done. I got folks, a subordinate below me that aren't privy to what I know, and so they may be like, well, why are we doing it that way? I was like, you just got to do it. You got to trust me. Let's go and get it done, right? And so that kind of thing, I think, allows us to the military piece to help us sustain a great relationship. Secondly, but on the other note, you have to, on her side, she'd have to speak to that one, because
yes, I was just going to say, well, Keena, you give a show version of that.
Military can be rough.
Well,
as far as travel and all that.
Yeah, because when we got married, we he was in the reserve and Army Reserve, and he was at that time he was just doing his 1 weekend a month.
Lower rank.
Lower rank, yes. And so I was like, okay, cool. But it immediately changed, and so we kind of just, you got deployed, and
Oh yeah.
we kind of just for real jumped into this military life. So there are times, of course, we know that he travels. I think the longest you've been gone from me is
What, a year and a half?
14 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's hard. So the Lord was the one that sustained me through that time. Then at one point he was gone for like 6 months, and then just here and there, a month here, 3 weeks there, 2 weeks, a week, or whatever. But he's almost about to retire. So, but in other words, God pretty much was the one, and a great support system was the one to help me get through those times when he was away. We communicate a lot. Sometimes he fell asleep on me in the hotel room, so I don't hear from him. He a buster. But but he be on the go so much, so when he finally gets to the hotel room, he out of there. And I already know now, we already got a plan. I'm like, okay, if I don't hear from him by this time, he out of there. But it's okay, because that's my next thing, trust. Trust is very important in marriage.
That's good. That's
And
good.
whether you have a military husband or not, trust is very important, because he can be right here in town and he's away from you for hours at a time. Are you gonna trust him to know that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing? You know what I mean? So that is very helpful, that we trust each other.
And I think trust is very important if you're going to have a strong relationship, a strong marriage. You're going to have to trust, because if you don't have trust, you always got that thought in the back of your mind. What's she doing? I wonder who they with, or who they doing.
Then the other thing, you're right. But I want to go back to what Will said about the like 46 days he was fasting, and then you get we talk go back to our conversation we had with my cousin, and they were like what was it? Oh, lists. I'm like, so did you have a list of what you wanted? You know what I mean? She got to be this. She got to be this. She got to be this. She got to wear. She got to be a size 8. She got to have a 2 shoe. She got to whatever. So all this craziness, right? So you got to and women do it too. You got to be 6 feet. You got to have these muscles bigger than the room. And so, but we go back in the fast. That if you're fasting for respect for a relationship, I'm assuming you trusting God to give you a relationship, right? You trusting God to bring someone to you, and that's what I want to real quick touch on that. We have our list. We ask God I'm tired of being alone. I want a relationship. I want to be with someone that you send me. But then when you put somebody in your life, you're like, I want you. Who was that? That's not who I asked for. God gave it to you, but you don't want him. I'm like, and then you go out and find the one you want, and boom, it's just trash, and you just a bad relationship. So we have to be cognizant of and listen to when God is sending us that person, and accept who God sends us. They may not be right for somebody else. They may not be right for somebody else, but they're just right for you. So you got to make sure you trust in God and trust in that answer that He's given you. So
that's good, because in that place where we were, I mean, we're both praying for our spouses, and God just connected us, and it was literally, everybody always asks us, well, did y'all get those butterflies and that goo fit? We didn't have none of that. It was literally everything that we asked for. We possessed it in one another. We made the decision to say, hey, we're gonna do this, and we did it.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, it was scary and terrifying. I'm like, oh my God. But I tell you, we're almost 8 years in.
Wow.
It haven't been easy, but God. But God.
Really quick, I'm sorry, I just keep on talking.
Oh no, you're good. Go
on. But when that one right there, that statement, I want you to stop saying it hadn't been easy. Don't say that no more, because I want you to at least start saying we've had our trials and tribulations or whatever, and we work them through. Because when people say, I always look at it like this. You can look at a marriage two ways. You say you've been married 8 years, right? You can say, and you can look at that twice. Let me show you the two ways that you can say you've been married 8 years. Lord, I've been married 8 years. Or you can say, it's been 8 years. Whatever the differences. The differences are that 8 years seems like 4 or 3 or 2, right? You're like, man, it's been 8 years already. And I'm telling you, in like the 22, I'm like, man, we've been married 22 years for real? Like, wow. I ain't realized that, And then as the years go by, just boom, 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 22. And then you say, we've been married 8 years. Or as long as you ain't on that thing where it's like, oh my God, it's been 8 years. Jesus Christ.
Sounds so dreadful, right?
We don't want that, And then you're right though. It ain't easy. It's not easy. I mean, but at the same time, you can make it easy. You can have fun with it. You can go out there and do what you do. And don't sweat the small stuff.
It's what you put in.
There you go. Don't sweat the small stuff. What you put in. My favorite phrase is this, and I'm gonna shut up. Some things, the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. Y'all felt that, right? The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Come on now. Somebody hashtag that.
Yeah, the juice ain't worth the squeeze on some things. You just let that mess go. Right? You know what I'm saying? If like I said, you squeezing the toothpaste in the middle and it's getting on your nerve, it ain't worth the squeeze. It ain't juice ain't worth the squeeze. Get your own toothpaste and you ain't gotta worry about it.
Come on now. Come on. We learn, right?
There we go. But put that on the thing. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Hallelujah.
Well, we do have a question. It has YFC, your favorite couple, asks, what are some goals you have for your marriage collectively? What are some goals that you have for your marriage collectively?
Well, we want to continue to travel nationally, internationally, and then eventually we want to move when the kids.
We thinking about moving out of this house into a smaller house. Goals, probably, are we want to go back future goals from like the past or future goals, you think?
Future, go with them.
Future goals, yeah, we do have the same as far as like you're saying, we have a retirement goal, I guess you could say. What? You said like we talking about moving out, possibly moving from this house, but we may do it. I don't know. Because then the house might be paid for. Like I always start I ain't trying to start on a mortgage. But
a lot of house clean.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good.
Shoot.
Pay off, finances, financially pay. We already know, what we want to do, pay off the cars, and then after pay off the cars, we already know what we're gonna do next. So, you know what I mean? So it's like we talk about what's gonna happen financially.
Or maybe write a book, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Well, we started our new
That's a movie.
Write a book. Okay,
write a book. And then like since YFC brought up that question, then YFC. We do want to shout out to YFC. They did inspire us to start the YouTube channel, the Conversation with Keena. They did inspire us to start that YouTube channel, Conversation with Keena. So and we appreciate that. Just something we want to do together. We try to do as many things together as we can. That is one of our goals also. Like right now we go to the Mavs game, we have Mavericks tickets. We have a half a season for Mavericks. That's just something that we do. Just to get out the house, go have some fun at a Mavericks game. It's funny because I know sometimes she don't want to go. I can tell by looking at her face when we sitting in the stands. I'm all about it, but she makes that sacrifice and comes anyway. So there's great things like that. Just spend more time together. That's one of our biggest things. I think you agree.
I agree.
To stay together, stuff like that. So traveling.
And Eddie, I like what you said about the goals because we were talking with Nikia yesterday, writing some stuff, and we came up with this. I don't know if it's a revelation, but I think it's just a statement of ours. Goals should never change. However, the mission is what needs to be upgraded. Because the goal is predefined or predefined already. Hey, this is what we want to accomplish. Now, as you walking, because the way you started 22 years ago is not I mean, the things you be doing then is not what you're doing now. Now we're more seasoned. Now we're more knowledge. We're more revelation. You're
Got
like,
more wisdom.
you know what? We need to evolve.
Right.
We need to do this. Before it was running fast. Now it's about pacing ourselves up and know, the season, the moment, the timing. We upgrade the mission, but never change the goal,
Right.
because that's what's more important. So I
Right.
really like what you say what you mean when you said the goal really never changed.
Right. You're absolutely right. The goal is your where you're trying to reach. And I like how you just put it, because like you say, when you're on that pathway to that goal, there are going to be some obstacles out there, right? Even in the military, we have a goal, we have a mission, we have what we call an objective, right? We got to get to that objective, and your plan is to go via Route X, but on Route X they put some barriers, and you can't get across Route X. So what does that mean? You got to detour, go around Route X to get there, but you're still going towards that objective, that goal. So and I tell folks, going to Houston, there's several ways to get there. You go down 45, you can go down Highway 35, catch 6, and come on around, get on 290, get on down into Houston, or you go straight up 45. You can go, different ways to get there. But your goal is Houston, and your goal is to get to Houston, or to get to that particular point. And once you on that route, hey, if there's a wreck on the highway, or if there's a freeway closure, then what does that mean? You listen to that GPS, and it tells you to detour here, you exit, and you make a different route, and you still gonna head on down. I like that.
You just get back on the right road and meet your destiny.
Eventually, you're gonna come right on back. That's right. Eventually, shut up. Look at that. So look at this. That's what that GPS do.
I love you guys.
GPS for a second. What did that GPS do to you? That GPS, that's a prick right there. That GPS will take you off the road, right? There's a detour in the road. It's gonna take you off. It's gonna move you all around. But what does that GPS do every single time? It brings you right back to where you're supposed to be to get you where you need to your destination. So that's, you can even make 15 wrong turns, and Siri or whoever you got, Android, Siri, Alexa, somebody gonna guide you right back to where you're supposed to be.
Rerouting.
Rerouting, right? But you got to be willing to listen to Siri or Alexa or whoever she is or he is on your phone or whatever. You got to be willing to listen to bring you back to that destination, because you keep on. I got my own plan. I'm gonna keep on turning left, and you didn't turn left so many times. You lost. Siri just and said, "Forget it. I'm done."
Let me tell you what I did, y'all. And I know we talked aside. We gonna.
After you finish, you guys tell the audience where you guys can where we can follow you and reach you, and you can take it from there.
I just want to mention one thing. I had to take the twins to a paintball birthday party in Waxahachie, and it was in the Boondocks, right? So the place, it was like, you are here, and I get there, there's nothing but land. So I was like, oh man. So then I could tell all the cars were going a certain way trying to find this little place, and we couldn't find it. But it finally, like I said, GPS found where I was and rerouted me and got me to the location. Yes, I got frustrated. And you're gonna get frustrated when your plans change. Yeah. When you're trying to meet this destiny, and you're trying to meet a goal and they don't work the way you planned it. But stay focused and stay the course. Yeah. So you can reach us on YouTube, A Conversation with Eddie and Keena. And that's is it and like that? Yep. Oh, it is amplified. Okay. And our email is
Conversation with Eddie and Keena, but it's spelled out.
Okay.
Our email is a conversation with Eddie and Keena, but the ampersand is not there. It's spelled out. No, it's actually E and K. A conversation with ENK@gmail.com. If you want to shout out to us or whatever, you want to shoot us a message. And we will have a new video coming out very soon. Since we talked about, we got a new video coming out very soon. It's not a relationship video this time. This time we're going to showcase a couple of friends of ours who have started their own business and help you that are out there that want to be entrepreneurs and things like that are going to help you the keys to success to get your business started as well. So we're going to have a conversation with Eddie Keena with a few. I think all three of them are hairstylists, and we're going to show how they can work out with you. The concepts are the same. Business is just different.
Thank you, guys.
We got one more question for you, Keena. How do you help your husband focus
Uh-oh.
and not derail from goals when you're really not feeling him at the moment?
When you mad at him,
I was
put it
saying,
that way.
I was trying to be nice.
When you mad, when you mad.
I like that question. How
And
do you?
and I'm asking this question. I'm asking this question because Eddie could start off with that globally crazy joke, keep my wife's name out of bleep 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 bleep, your mouth. Unfortunately, we see that everywhere. It's maybe not magnified because those people who go through those motions are not Will Smith. The camera, they're not on them and stuff. And we asked this question to help somebody out there, a sister, for instance, because we know the power a woman or the influence a woman can have, on the success of the objective or the goal led by the husband. So how do you help your husband focus and not derail from this goal when you're not feeling
It's
That's a loaded question, right?
right. Well, I'm the more calm one, more patient one, and he would say that all the time.
I have zero patience.
Even through the madness, and when he get mad at the kids or mad at whoever, I'm always the calm one. And so, and I'm mad at him at the same time because he over here tripping and acting crazy. But I still am calm and patient. That's the way I grew up. So I just think to just stay focused and make sure, hey, bring him down a notch. Because he even say that sometimes. Sometimes he'll realize, oh, whoa, I was kind of over the top. So he will listen to me and realize that it's not really that, he can kind of jump real quick. But I just think just try to keep him focused on track, bring it down a notch, and then make sure that he's still, what you were saying, like going towards our goals, make sure he stays focused on our goals.
Yeah.
Even though in the midst of that, I can talk him through even when he's mad, or sometimes I'll just give him space and then come back around to it. But
that's
what
good.
I do.
That's good.
You don't have
And
really have no
you have to balance each other out. No,
Right.
just say you have to balance each other out. When one and went left, just like, okay, come on back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, rewind. And move forward. Just keep on moving. Don't stay there. I think some couples, you get frustrated and you get, mad at each other and you don't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with whatever the issue is, address it, and just keep it moving.
That's key right there. What you just said. So y'all keep on bringing up stuff. Y'all make me
know,
never shut up. But you gotta talk. You gotta talk, and it's difficult to talk at. I don't know. Y'all at 8 years, so you can probably attest to this. Like in the first 2 or 3 years, it's difficult to talk. You're scared. You don't want to break up. You don't want to say something that's gonna piss somebody off, make them mad. But at 22, you get mad. I'm sorry. Just look here. We got to do. But you got to learn to talk. You got to learn to communicate. You got to learn how to say stuff without pushing buttons. You got to learn how to just, good to get in there and say your piece without, being crazy about it. Because there are those that will come in there and immediately come out with some, instead of saying, hey, Keena, what's that you cooking? Ooh, oh, that's good, but I really don't like that. Instead of going in the kitchen, girl, what in the world is that you didn't cook? Nobody want to eat that. It's two different things. You know what I mean? So, you got to just learn how to communicate with each other, and that takes time.
And look on the chat, it says, Miss Shannon, what if both of you guys are hotheads?
Oh Lord, both of y'all are
and we have some friends that's like that. Both of them hotheads, both of them knock them out, drag them out.
Because all you doing, if both are hotheads, I'm gonna tell you right now, if both of y'all are hotheads, you basically it's fuming. You basically fuming the fire. You're gonna have to learn. One of y'all got to learn when one is hot, the other one need to be cool. because you basically
You're not
fueling
getting
that
nowhere.
fire. You
You're
ain't
not
going
getting
nowhere.
You just everybody talking, trying to prove their point, and you're not getting anywhere.
Think politics. I hate politics, but think politics. You got somebody that's a Trump supporter. You got somebody that's an Obama supporter. If you both are trying to talk, you're not gonna prove the other one. They're not listening to you anyway. It don't matter. So if you're at a point where both you guys are in a heated argument, heated situation, just wait, because you ain't gonna none out. Just stop. Just stop what you're doing. Keep on arguing if you want to. It ain't gonna make no difference. You're just gonna end up saying some stuff that you don't need to be saying. Y'all gonna be mad. Blah blah blah. So it's best to just wait. If you both hot heads, one of y'all need to leave. Somebody got to be person. Somebody got to go.
Bigger person and just say stop. Let's come back to it later.
You go walk around the block. Go run. Go. I don't know. Go for a drive and come back and then talk.
And I like what you said, Keena. Come back to it later.
Yes.
I think in the heat of the moment, you want to get it out. I want to tell you off. I want to get. But sometimes it's okay. You have to just walk away from it.
That's called the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
It ain't worth the squeeze. Let it go. Just let it go.
Growing up back home, you mad and you walk away, and the parents like, don't walk away from me. When I'm talking to you and blah blah. That's I had to learn that with Nikia, because I'm the talker. She's the quiet person, and
are you crying,
Nikia? So unless she's preaching. So, but and I don't recall a argument with Nikia where we passed the 30 minutes. Our argument is like a shooting star. You saw it, it disappeared.
Well, because the majority of the time he just, it's like, and Keena, I know you can relate, because sometimes men just like, they do a thing, but they ain't never did a thing, and they just come back talking like ain't nothing. What did we not just pass words with each other? And why we talking now?
It's the presence of the Father.
Oh yeah, sure.
We don't remember.
You gotta let it go.
Come on.
Hold on to it. Let it go.
Come on, preach, bro.
I want to talk to you.
Let it go.
Right. I'll be like, why are you talking?
I tell my soldiers all the time, right? I tell them all the time, right? So if I'm the commander, right? I'm the commander. We in a briefing. We in a meeting, and you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I'm gonna get into you right there in that meeting. Why did you do da 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 da? I'm lighting you up, right? But then when the meeting's over, hey y'all ready to go lunch? Let's go.
That's it.
That's over. We had that conversation. That's done. Now let's go and enjoy our life and keep on moving.
And this is the thing. This is the thing, because couples, I believe, they don't know where the balance and the measure is. Because you did it and it's okay, it's over. I said it. You know what you did wrong, and I clarified the when we go back, you know what to do. But hey, that doesn't mean we're gonna stop being happy. Let's go. That's just how things are supposed to be.
I have to really pray. I really have to pray. Father, help me. You gotta process it, right, Nikia? You gotta process that thing.
Girl, look at here. I'm like,
it ain't easy to turn it over like that, huh?
Oh, but I think but in that being strong and sustainable and successful, one of those things is to forgive quickly.
Oh, very quickly. We have to.
Oh, Jesus, Lord help.
Yeah, but type that at the bottom. Type that at the bottom. Right. Come on.
Miss Shannon talk about what to do when both of you are hot-headed. Nikia and I, we were born the same day.
Oh yeah, they had the same.
Really?
Yeah, we were born on the same day, August 2nd.
Oh, Scorpio.
Wow.
So we were born on the same day. So I can get hot just like that. Believe me, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
That's Nikia.
Yeah.
And because she's always been the oldest. She the one who raised everybody, gathered everybody, So she had to have that that strong presence,
Mm.
and she has to be ready to defend, everything, even her idea, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, somebody, just like you say, Eddie, has to be the bigger person,
Mhm.
And when Nikia goes off, I turn it off.
Mhm.
When she's like, okay, I'm ready, like, right, and I know, because I
Because
learned.
I done took a few things by then. So by the time I get to 10, it's like it's your best side is just to watch
She
out.
just fuming. She just fuming. And hey, baby, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. We need the ice cream right now because there is no conversation. We need an ice cream.
Mhm.
I used to come with a trick, and I'm telling to the guys out there, it doesn't work with every woman.
Hey.
Okay, if the lady you were dating before you marry, Josephine, I'm just taking a random name, Josephine, to calm her down, you make love to her. It doesn't work with everybody.
Right.
I tried that trick with this woman right here,
Right.
bro. After making love, back to the problem. You're still mad.
He ain't solved nothing yet. You better come on
He
back.
didn't know. And she would come and tell me, I mean, we're done. Like, hey, baby, don't touch me. Huh? What is that? Oh, no. Don't think you're gonna play me
Right.
with this.
Right.
I'm supposed to give you that. This is not
That's good.
a treaty with signing. I'm supposed, so I'm just doing my job. Okay. But we have an issue.
got a
We
problem
need to
solved.
talk.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's, and having argument, having issue is not a problem. It's talking true.
Yeah.
That is the
That's-
issue.
Mhm.
That's
You
where I think
Yeah.
you guys need.
You
Yeah,
have to
people
address
need
the
to.
issue, because if you don't address it, then I'm telling you, you have to address it. Because what happens if you don't address it?
What happened if you don't just we're building that up, and then if I stump my toe,
Step
then,
on the toe.
you step on my
You-
something, however. But
yeah.
anyway, then everything comes
You, know,
down.
Right.
you all hot. Like you said, you walking around and all of a sudden you step across. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. What you mean? Excuse me.
And by the way, let me tell you what you did back in
And so
Yeah.
all that started to come. Then
3
you
months
like,
ago.
and you turn around like, what? And that's all because there's something built up somewhere that you haven't discussed. And like you said, you got to get it out. You got to solve the problem, or else if you don't solve the problem, you just got more problems coming behind that problem. It's just gonna build up.
Yeah.
And then that small itty bitty thing is gonna just blow up the whole house. And then you just wonder what happened. Like, what just happened?
And we watch a movie, and the husband cheated on his wife when they were in college. I mean, they were dating.
Mm-hmm.
So in college, and forgive me and all that. She was like, okay, I forgive you.
The best man. Is that the best man?
No, there was the Oval, Tyler Perry movie. It's a series on the BT Plus.
Okay.
And 24 years later,
Mm-hmm.
she told him when they were in college, I forgive you, but they never talked through the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And he never done it. And I mean, for 24 years, that dude was straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something was broken in the marriage for the past 7 years, where they just grew dull, and their sex life became lesser and lesser active. So they went from, in 7 years, they went from 3 times a week to 1 time a month. And then the last 2 years, no sex. That dude is a military guy, strong and everything, but one day, for 2 years, the first lady is after him for 2 years. And Eddie, you can probably relate to that because I'm a man, you're a man. When our ego gets offended, we wants to react. And this first lady told him, hey, you're not a man, so you can have this goodie and everything. He was like, I'm gonna show you that I'm a man. Boom,
Oh.
that was it. Now the wife was like, yeah, you remember what you did in college
Never had.
Oh, she went all the way back to college.
24 years ago?
Wow.
Yeah, you told me it would never happen again and everything. But she forgot the same pattern in college happened again, because then when they were dating, they were already sexually active, and all of a sudden she shut it down and it cheated.
Mm.
The same pattern 24 years later happened again. And it
Oh,
was like, baby, she was like, yeah, you a liar. So
Yeah.
that means for 24 years, you've been cheating on me.
right.
You know, so that what you said really is really important. You know, the guys, we talk through the problem,
Mhm.
even though the conversation is hard, but we need to talk through the problem.
Get to the root of it.
Yes, yes. Well, you got, it has been a pleasure with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I love you guys. It has been so much fun.
It's fun.
You guys, audience, please, please, please give them their hearts. Share this broadcast. If you're watching the replay, follow Eddie and Keena on YouTube. It is a conversation with Eddie and Keena, correct?
Yeah.
Or E&K. Is it Eddie and Keena or
Eddie
E
and
and
King. Eddie and King.
All right. You guys can actually, if you would put it in the chat, like on the live, just put it in the live on Facebook.
Oh, on
They
Facebook.
can come in
Oh,
and join and follow your channel. But thank you so much. I appreciate you for sharing and being transparent and keeping us in line too as well. Okay.
Yeah,
And guys, if you have daughters out there and you want to know how to check the men that come and trying to talk to your daughters, AD can help you with some answers. Okay, the dude is ready, prepared.
God knew what he was doing. God knew what he was doing by giving us all boys. Because I promise you, I don't know what I do with our girls.
I'm telling you.
I got my little cousins and my little other nieces, like my little daughters. Like,
That's it.
Lord have mercy. I don't know. I'd be like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence on Bad Boys. You know, going to the door. What you want, Rich? What you here
She be like,
Okay. I feel for you, Keena. Well, you guys have a great and an awesome night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys. Give some hearts and some love to Eddie and Keena Smith of Dallas, Texas. We are so excited about the Love and Submission Tour. We have our next speakers in line. Oh, are you ready? Are you ready for a treat? We have Linda and Vito Patrick from Freeport, Bahamas. Vito and Linda are the founders of Unique Couples. If you guys have not seen some of the juicy late night talks on YouTube, I'm gonna make sure that they put their channel in here because y'all they get real, okay?
And they know what they're talking about.
They get real. Very transparent. I love them. They are building a platform dedicated to building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. They are marriage coaches and mentors who have worked in family life ministry for over 10 years. I'm sorry. Vito and Linda are the family life leaders of the 8 Mile Rock SDA Church in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama, Bahamas. They find joy serving and work in hospitality, education, and children's ministry, treasury, and on the deacon ward. They are celebrating their sweet 16 plus 2 wedding anniversary and have welcomed 3 children into their family. Victoria, Vito II, and Victory K. Patrick. The Patricks continue to be grateful for their blessings. Vito and Linda may be found on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as Unique Couples and Unique Couples 242 on Instagram. They offer weekly Sunday night Facebook Lives to help strengthen marriages and offer resources in their How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group with backgrounds in counseling, education, power generation, training, and maintenance reliability. Vito and Linda Patrick have made it their life mission to help save marriages one couple at a time. The Patricks strongly believe if marriages are to be saved, it will require God's presence and couples communicating, working together, and intentionally loving each other daily. The Patricks. There you go, Vito and Linda. And tonight, you guys, they will be talking about my spouse won't have sex with me. How can I create a space where they will desire me?
Ooh-wee.
Hot,
my
hot, hot in
Hello,
here.
hello.
Hello.
Hey, now, hello, Vito and Linda. How are you this evening?
Awesome, awesome.
Yes, definitely enjoying this love and submission tour. It is just heating up the place, and we're so happy all of you couples are here watching. Thanks for inviting us to come and share, William and Nikia.
Yes.
Hey,
You,
we
you know
created
you
a
owe
new
him, right?
word too.
And you owe him. You know you owe him, right, Linda?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
I
she
owe
owe
her.
she owe you because you jacked their names up last night. I was like,
Ooh.
who?
It's okay. It's okay. We will make sure we come down there, guys. We take you out of to eat, and hey, we can wait. We can wait. Linda, I owe you big time, cause you should see my tie right now is red bruise, cause somebody kept punching me like, what is that?
Who are you talking about?
Woo! Giving somebody another name.
But thank you guys. We appreciate you so much for taking this opportunity to collaborate with us in talking about this love and submission, and really helping couples where sex is concerned. You know, when I look at what you all are doing and what you are pouring into marriages, it is phenomenal. And so we give you guys, we salute you and know that what you have, it is unique. And it's not just because you guys are unique couples, but
I mean, hey, you guys helped us, you know, just being on
helping
your
us.
because you're still helping us. You know, when Ricardo, I remember 2019 is like, man, you need to connect with these people. Just like, man, connect with people, man. I'm not here to connect with nobody. And I mean, since then it's just been a blessing for 3 years now, guys, that we been following each other, just watching your videos. Really helped my bedroom, because you guys are not just coaches. You guys are not just coaches. You are Christians, not only churchgoer, but actually on board, helping the body of the Christians to live the life, but also marinate the personal life, you know, the right way. So that's I think that's a plus. We don't often talk about it, you know, in the body.
Yes, yes. So I, I actually created a new word, you know, for you guys, and it just came up, you know, friends who become family and stuff. So you're friendly.
Family.
Friends and family.
Family.
Yes,
I like
friendly. So yes, it's good to be here. And thanks again for the invitation, right? Yeah.
Yes. And you guys are doing an excellent job as well, Will and Nikia. And I know that this love and submission tour will be awesome. It will touch a lot of lives. It will help them. So we just also want to thank you for the invitation, for allowing us to come on your platform and speak. And we know that lives will be touched.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to give it over to you guys. We're going off the screen. It's on you.
Okay.
All right.
So we definitely know that you know, you are unique couples, right? We are all unique. And we're talking about, I see it's there, and we're sharing it, and just want to talk to you about her story. Yes. It was a moment that left her feeling disgusted, like black oily fingers were crawling and trying to suffocate her, and darkness. I mean, the darkness all around. And the shame was there too. And the wanting it to stop and go away and just be a thought no longer. Megan experienced that sexual trauma. And sometimes when she connects with her husband, those feelings come back. She replaces her husband with her abuser. In her mind, she knows that they are not the same people, but the triggers come so unexpectedly that her body gets confused. Hey, maybe your spouse is like Megan, who experienced sexual trauma, or maybe they are just asexual and not interested in sex at all. But maybe it is that they lost their interest for connecting with you sexually because, I don't know, what reasons you think.
So they don't like the changes in their body. That may be one of the reasons.
Or in your body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are busy connecting with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They are experiencing medical problems that are affecting their sex drive or ability to perform.
The question is, why won't your spouse have sex with you?
Have you asked them? Did you communicate about the reasons or causes? Outside of your sex life, what is the intimacy like in your marriage?
We helped Megan deal with her issues.
Mm-hmm.
She made the commitment, she did the self work, and today she is enjoying her sexual encounters with her husband. Your story may be different, but you can get the transformation just like Megan when she worked with us. How many of you know about some of those issues that couples face? Let me see you. Make a comment, say a statement, say yes. Are any of those issues that you face? And now you're asking yourself, why doesn't my spouse want to have sex with me? Okay, I wish we could have seen the comments, but we'll definitely go back and note them. So those could be reasons why your spouse isn't having sex with you, but you have to be open and be in the space to be able to ask your spouse what the issue is. Have that, have the conversation, because in having a conversation, then you will be able to know what to do next. So you have to know what the problem is, right? You have to know what the problem is. Is it, the changes that we mentioned, changes in your body, his body? What is it? Sit down and have those conversations. You like to talk about communication, right?
Yes, and communication is very important. So you want to find out what the issues are, why both of you aren't connecting. Why don't you want to have sex?
Why the spouse doesn't want to have sex
Yeah, why
with
the
them.
spouse doesn't want to have sex with them.
Yeah. So
you have to find out exactly what's going on, and it won't happen unless you communicate.
Yeah.
Communication is very important. That's very, very important.
So it's like the foundation. Everything you do in your marriage, the communication has to be there. It's key to everything. As you're building a house, it's like the foundation of your marriage. You have to be able to effectively communicate. All right. So even talking. So this type of communication would be more of like the pillow talk. Right. This is like the pillow talk. This is where maybe you're not comfortable talking about these issues in broad daylight. So maybe you need to turn the lights off and be in your bedroom and, have these discussions, like listen to each other. You're laying in bed, you're on your pillow, the room is dark maybe, and get to the point where you're comfortable, asking your spouse some questions. So once you get to the reason why your spouse isn't wanting to have sex with you or desiring you and all of these things. Once you get to the reason for that, then we can go into, hey, here's what you can do. Okay. So let's look at exactly what you can do. if that is an issue, this is an issue, you're experiencing this for whatever reason, whether it's a medical condition or you're simply, your spouse is simply just not that type of person. Maybe they're not interested in sex. But one of the questions you also have to ask is, did your spouse ever desire you? Or is this something new? Is this a change now that where they're not interested? Or is this something new? Okay. So we would like you to, depending on what your situation is, we know we are all unique couples. All of our situations are different. How we think, how we feel, how we relate to each other, the level of intimacy in our marriage, all of that is different. So we could only suggest, and it's like the watermelon, you
You eat the watermelon and you spit out the seeds.
So take what's for you, okay?
Exactly.
Some things you go ahead and be adventurous and try, and then some things you might decide, oh no, that's not for me. So know your boundaries, okay? So we start with that. Know your boundaries. Know that, hey, you don't have to do anything we suggest, or maybe you want to do something that we suggest, but make the decision in any event. Make the decision. So we want to talk about fanning the flame, hey?
But before we talk about fanning the flames, we just want to say a great job that the presenters Eddie and Keena Smith did before we came on. They did an excellent job, and I would just want to piggyback off of a point that they talked about. So our topic is, my spouse won't have sex with me. How can I create a place where they will desire me? So you want to have that. So Eddie and Kina, they spoke about having that support system. I'm sure all of us would have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. So if kids are in the picture, and Eddie and Kina, they talked about the support system, you want to make sure you trust your support system. By trusting your support system, you will be able to create a place where your spouse will desire you. So if it happens to be where you have kids and the kids is causing your spouse to not have sex with you, you want to be intentional with creating a place so your spouse can desire you, and you want to utilize your support system. Like they say, you want to trust your support system. And that's saying it takes a village to raise a child. You want to have date nights. So when you have those date nights, you have your support system who will help you, and you will have that space so you can be able to have sex with your partner. So you want to create that space.
Okay, so we ready for the fan now? Fanning the flames?
Fanning the flames.
Fanning the flames, fanning the flames. So these are some things that you can do quick, to make sure, hey, if you want your spouse to have sex with you, maybe you want to try fan. Okay, so we couldn't do fanning the flames for you, but we're going to give you fan. Yeah, so yeah.
F, focus and frequent.
So
you want to focus on pleasing your partner.
Yeah, so the end goal is for both of you to enjoy the experience, right? So is your partner enjoying the experience when you actually do connect? Do you know that? Have you asked that? Well, you'll need to know that. Do they, if it's your wife, is she achieving an orgasm, or are you just relying on, maybe it's you're just relying on penile entry to be the point where, okay, this is for her. But a whole lot of women do not gain or achieve orgasm just through organ meeting organ, right? So it will have to be some other form of manipulation that your spouse will enjoy. So you would have to actually find out what it is that your spouse loves or does not like. Okay, so like we're talking generally, because it could be the male or the female. So sometimes we'll be referring to the female, sometimes we're referring to the male. Yeah. So what does he like?
Yeah. So wives, what does your husband like? You want to find that out. What brings the most pleasure?
What does she want?
Yes. When is the best time?
So you have to figure that out. Like, when is the best time?
Mhm.
Maybe it's the morning, maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's in the afternoon. All of these questions you will have to find out as it relates to your spouse's sexual preference and what they want and need and desire.
How can I make the timing right?
Yeah, and sometimes they're really bad. Like, you want to try to go and like, for me, I remember it was like football season, and I think it was like early in our marriage, because I think we got to the point now where we kind of know how to work around that, right? And so it could have been where I wanted to talk to Vito about something, and it just happened to be in the middle of a game. Like, maybe that's not the right time, like, to try to have this whole conversation, or to try to get him interested in me. That wasn't the best time. And so I had to learn that maybe don't try to do it then. Of course, now if I decide to show all my glory and decide that, hey, this is the time, I think he'll run to come towards,
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of yeah, I'm like, what game? I can catch the replay and do that, right? But choosing the right time. So if your spouse is distracted, caught up with other stuff, and maybe it's not a release for them, especially like for a male, because sex would be a release for a man, right? Then you may want to decide to choose the best time. Maybe that's not the best time. If she's stressed and tired and caught up with work and all these different issues, and if you're not helping to change some of those problems, or that she's encountering, then trying to have sex in the middle of that is going to be a problem. Yeah.
You can get what you focus on. You will become an expert on bringing your spouse pleasure if you focus on it.
Yeah, I like that. Say that again.
Yeah. So you can get what you focus on. You
Mhm.
know, you will become an expert on bringing your spouse pleasure if you focus on it.
So you have to focus on it.
Yes.
So F is focus and
And
frequent.
frequent.
Okay. So if your spouse is not achieving pleasure during the sexual experience, find out what brings them pleasure. What is it that they like? Are you making sure that foreplay is longer? Maybe she needs more foreplay. Are you making sure that she is probably not stressed with everything else, and then having to come and have sex? That could be stressful. Like, dude, I'm tired, I'm dealing with the kids, I'm dealing with work, I'm having to come home and do all of these things, and then still you want me available. Like, I have 1,000 tabs open in my brain as to what I have to do and what I have to get done. And so stopping now to appreciate you sexually is not something that I'm necessarily interested in, because in order for me to have sex, I have to be relaxed. I have to be in the state of mind. But if my mind is just going a mile a minute with all these different things and doing all of these different things, the space isn't there for me to connect with you like how we would need to connect. So that is something that you also need to consider. And like we said earlier, we said, find out what your spouse likes and what they want, and do more of that. If it's manipulation with the hand, the tongue, the fingers, whatever it is, then you do more of what they appreciate and what they enjoy.
Yeah. So now we are at A.
Ooh, A.
A.
Yes.
So
So ready for A.
yes.
Yeah.
So admire
I
your
love this one.
spouse's body and announce it out loud.
Yeah.
Let your spouse know.
So maybe it's at the point where your spouse doesn't feel like you're interested. We can only talk generally because we don't know what's happening on the other side, or why is it that your spouse isn't interested. But the great thing is you get to explore, and your situation, so you can make it fit. But in the midst of all of that, even if you're not having problems sexually, or your spouse does desire you and you are having sex maybe once a day or twice a day or every day, or however, once a week, or however, how often you want to, this is still something good that you can do, right? Every marriage can do this. Admire your spouse's body and announce it out loud. Tell them, like, let your spouse know what you admire. Maybe y'all need to do some of our spa activities. You know what? We have How I Love tracker that we'll make available for you. We'll put that in the
We'll
in
put it
the
in the chat.
yeah, we'll put it in the chat. Nikia can actually go ahead and we'll put it in the comments or whatever, so you can go ahead and get that tracker or yeah, and actually we have a course coming up with that too, so you can actually go ahead and join us for that course on making sure that hey, you have the marriage of your dreams. And guess what, that includes sex. That includes sex, which is everything. That's a part
Yeah.
of it. So admire your spouse's body and announce it out loud.
Yeah. So, like Linda, I would tell you, I love your lips.
Oh
I
geez.
love your hips. Admire your spouse's body and announce it out loud. Yes, all of that. Your scent and everything. You want to make sure you let your spouse know.
Yeah, and then let him know. Ladies, don't just let it be, your spouse telling you all the time and you're not saying anything to them. You have to initiate as well. Initiate. Say things that your spouse would appreciate.
Yes.
Show that you're admiring and loving and wanting and desiring them as well. Okay.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's like what we give is what we get back. So what you're giving your spouse, most of the times you will definitely get back, because you reap what you sow, right? Yeah. So focus. We talked about focus earlier, and we're saying admire your spouse's body. Guess what? The bed is undefiled. This is your holy place. That's your holy union. Enjoy it together, and don't allow maybe it's religious hang-ups. We didn't talk about that earlier. That may be what's preventing you from enjoying your sexual encounter. Oh, you might have been taught or told that, oh no, good girls don't enjoy sex. Or, ladies, you just lay there and let your husband do whatever, and you have the lights off and your clothes on and everything. And maybe you were told that, but explore. I would break it easy, just explore. And then we are at N.
So
N.
So F was focus and frequent. A was admire your spouse's body and announce it out loud. N is naughtiness is nice.
Yes.
Naughtiness is nice. That's N. So get kinky if you need to. Stay learning and trying new things with your spouse.
Definitely, because you have to know what your spouse wants, what your spouse is interested in. Talk about those. Of course, know your boundaries and know, how far you would go with certain things. Have the conversation about that ahead of time. And I know for, some couples, it's hard because, they don't do that. We'll tell you, go ahead and do that pillow talk. That's where you actually could talk about intimate details that might be a little threatening during the day, but at night with the lights off, and you can actually take time to talk to each other and not let your fears get in the way. And if you're okay with not having to do that with your pillow talk and at night, do it openly. And that is something that couples find or have an issue with, communicating effectively, even as it relates to sex. And that's something that we go a lot into as well when we look at our marriage of your dreams course. And that's something that you could do, but get kinky with it if you need to, right? Get kinky. How would you know what to do unless you ask? So you'd have to ask, you'd have to have those conversations, or just go and try new things on your spouse. If they're open to that, you go, so tonight you can say, well, honey, I want us to try this new thing, or I have something planned. Tonight is our, let's try something new night. And you go ahead and do that. Yeah.
So let your bedroom move from boredom to excitement.
Yes.
Nothing happens without excitement.
Nothing at all.
Yes. So stay excited and keep the flames alive.
Yeah, you have to show. And then sometimes it's, you might have, personal hangups, or maybe your spouse is experiencing personal hangups, and they need to address those and talk about those and be able to look at in the mirror and look at their body in the nude and be able to appreciate it, and you there as well appreciating your spouse's nude body in the mirror. It's just like those simple things that you can do to really get that. And if the body is not your spouse appreciate it. You know, sometimes we get married, the man expects the woman to stay the exact same way, exactly the same way. And the woman expects him to change. So, you know, so hey, that's the body he married, and maybe that's what he wants. But if that is a problem, you know, talk about it. And your body is not the only part of you that's sexual. You will have to, it'll start with your mindset. It'll definitely start with your mindset, and making sure that you have that. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am worthy of love. You know, my spouse desires me, and portraying that. And then, of course, finding out from your spouse, you know, how they feel, and, you know, the reasons behind, you know, what is happening, and then working together to really achieve the sexual level of commitment that you want. Maybe you two are at the point where, you know, sex for you might just be once a month. Or I've heard some couples say once a year. Like, if that's you, and both of you are okay with it, then fine, you're okay with it. But if you're in the relationship, you're in this marriage, and one person has a problem with the level of sex in the relationship and the other one is cool, then you definitely have to come together and talk about it, because then that becomes an issue. Okay, and that becomes an issue.
Yes. So F was focus and frequent. A was admire your spouse's body and announce it out loud. And N, naughtiness is nice.
Yeah, find out what they're interested in.
Yes.
So some other things that you can try.
Yeah, so try these new things. Location.
Okay, so that's one. Location.
Yes, location.
Location. Vary the location. It doesn't have to be the same place. It doesn't have to be in the bed all the time. It doesn't even have to be in your bedroom all the time. Okay, decide on a new location. You know what? Let's go sneak and have it in the backyard. Let's go sneak and have it in the car. Let's go sneak and do whatever. Just building up that excitement about doing these new things could reignite the spark that you and your spouse had in your marriage.
Number 2, positions. So we touched on that a little earlier, where we talked about getting kinky. So you want to talk about these positions. And like Linda was saying, when you have the pillow talks, talk about it, and you can have a let's try something new tonight. So positions, that's also important as well.
Yeah.
You just don't want one same position all the time. That can be boring.
Yeah. And so, we actually have this thing where we name our positions, and that could be based on any little thing, but the key is we know the key word. So when we hear that word, we know, and you know, it comes to mind. You can picture exactly what that is, where it is, and how it's done. So you too, that could be something for you two to do as well. So create new experiences with your spouse. You know, try to create those new experiences so that you can enjoy your time together. And it could be just building up anticipation to an event. So sometimes you just have to schedule.
Yes,
right?
that's number 3.
Yeah.
Schedule.
Sometimes you have to schedule.
Schedule.
And say, okay, next week Thursday, or next week Saturday night will be our time. And we schedule it, and then we do all sorts of little things leading up to it. It's like a longer foreplay leading up to the schedule event. You may have to do that and schedule it, and not schedule like, oh, this is something I have to do on my things, my to-do list, but schedule as in anticipation and building up to
excitement.
Just building up excitement.
Like we said, take that boredom out of the bedroom. Make it excitement.
Make it exciting. Yeah.
Make it exciting. So if you have to schedule, go ahead and schedule so you can make it exciting. And then number 4, be spontaneous.
Yes. Will, and Nikia, yes. Be spontaneous. Be spontaneous. Yeah, we need to see y'all in for this one. Be spontaneous. So sometimes, yes, you go ahead and schedule. Sometimes you just need to just get it on. You have a free few moments together. You just go, the kids are asleep, and you sneak in the closet, or you sneak in the bathroom, or sneak wherever it is, and just make it happen. Because, you know, life happens around you with everything else. So sometimes it's just doing that. And, you know, your spouse isn't interested, getting them interested and finding out what they need, what their touch buttons are, and what they like, and doing more of that, then you can be spontaneous and decide to, you know, you can actually do that. You know, touch the right buttons at the right time.
Yeah.
And that could be your spontaneous get moments where you actually get things going. Yep. Yeah, so we're talking about fan the flames. We actually go in depth with that, like I said, in our Marriage of Your Dreams course that we have coming up. It actually launches April 20th. Okay, so we have that coming up, and we go into details with sex is everything. We could go all out and talk with sex is everything. And then for ladies itself, ladies, sometimes there are things that we want to talk about and things that we want to say or things that we need to learn, and we do that more comfortably, kind of like without our husbands, like right there, because when you hear some of those little tips and tricks to do, you don't want him to know you heard it. You just want to do it. Like you just want to do it on him. You don't want to know that, hey, well, I learned this from, no. Sometimes you just want to go ahead and squeeze there, pull this, do that, whatever, without him knowing the background. Like, you don't have to know I learned this. You just need to enjoy this, right? You just need to enjoy this. So because of that, we started hosting our Think Like a Mistress Masterclass, which is just for females, and that will be coming up in May as well. So we'll send a link, put in the link for the Marriage of Your Dreams, because guess what? We all deserve to have that. We all need that. We all deserve to have that, because, it could happen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like we just allow, how we were brought up and the things we experience and what we see around us to dictate how our marriages are. And we don't need to be there. I was at that space, and I looked at, all of the examples I saw. I looked at my family of origin, and I didn't want to have anything to do with marriage. And today I can say, we decided on, what we wanted in our marriage, and we built it to the point where today we can look back, and I can look back and say, this is the marriage of my dreams. This is what I expected it to be like. This is what I wanted it to be like, because what I saw earlier was, hurt and pain and chaos and, violence and all of that and anguish. And I didn't want to have anything to do with that. But today I can see, someone loving me, and I'm loving myself, and, we're loving each other. And then we get to the point where we could actually teach other people to do that, no matter where they are in their marriage, where they are in their relationship, that they can get to the point that there is hope. So no matter what is happening now in your relationship, even if you're experiencing the worst sexual conditions, even if your husband has been or wife has been unfaithful and maybe you're still together or you're not desiring sex or whatever it is, we're saying there is still hope. Join us in the Marriage of Your Dreams course and definitely connect. Yes. We are done with this.
Yes.
Guys, I am so thrilled.
And he didn't stop talking over here. I'm like, I'm trying to listen.
Oh no, because we've been having an argument behind, because
you got to air out all our dirty laundry.
No, we're not. But I think we need to take this course with them.
Go ahead. Nikia, I'm gonna send you the link. I don't even know. I just put in the link. I'll send it somewhere, and you can put it in the.
Yeah, please. We need that. But Linda and Vito, somebody asked. Somebody, not right now, but that's a conversation that we had somewhere, and somebody asked, is it okay to hook up with your spouse? So I want to ask this question, right? Because a lot of Christians are our viewers, and you know how we get so religious, so spiritual, make everything dirty. And I hear naughtiness is nice. I think I'm gonna try that one. But yes, is it okay to hook up with your spouse?
So hook up, what do you mean hook up?
Like, when I was out there before I married Nikia, I used to hook up. And hey, I have this friend. I used to have this friend back home, we talk and hey, I feel some type of way,
I think that comes to the point where she pulled us in about being spontaneous. Is, hey, I've booked the room. Meet me here.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, just get that on. That is,
Yeah,
that is definitely a must. Should do. If you can do that once a month, that'll be fine. If you can do that once a week, you will definitely listen. Your marriage is gonna stay hot and spicy for as long as you're together, and people will still be asking if you're newlyweds. Why not?
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because and only your wife, only your spouse, you should be hooking up with.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
Let's make sure we get that part straight.
Right.
So you are
Only
only
your spouse.
hooking up with your spouse.
With your spouse.
Yeah.
Go ahead, 100%.
Mhm.
Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
You-
Like
I
if you want to
remember
spend
when
the
we
money and
first.
decide to go and get a hotel or go wherever, hey, that's your business and you go and enjoy yourself. If you want to go ahead with your spouse and pretend that you're meeting for the first time and hook up and play that fantasy, go ahead and do that because hey, yeah, we talk more about the fantasy thing and all those different things. But hey, you go ahead. You want to be the doctor and dress like that or the nurse and dress like that? No. The firefighter or whoever,
Yeah.
and you show up to that location and be who
No,
you
no,
need
I'm
to
a
be,
businessman.
go ahead and do that.
Honestly.
And like we said, you want to try new locations. So if you're hooking up at all these different locations,
Mm-hmm.
awesome, excitement.
Definitely.
Remember, the bed is holy and undefiled. So you
Hey,
want
now.
to continue having that excitement in your marriage. Be spontaneous.
All right. And we have somebody that did ask the question, what if you've had children and since then the intimacy is gone? How would you reignite that intimacy?
I think one of the things, like even what Vito was saying and what the Smiths were talking about, and this is something that we definitely encourage as a big part of what we do in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, and all of the stuff. But one of the things we encourage is the date nights, and because you connect, it's the two of you connecting during a date night. You're building intimacy and connection. You don't just try to go and say, oh, we're gonna have sex without the intimacy, especially in marriage. You want to work on the intimacy. That's the connecting and feeling and talking and expressing yourself and knowing what's happening with your spouse and relating to your spouse. You want to build on that as well. So even if the child, children came in and you were not at that place, you can build that up to the place where it continues again. So start by connecting with each other intimately first, build that up. And in the meantime, you can also start with the simple things, just getting, just building a physical intimacy where you're just getting close, getting used to touching each other, getting used to admiring and talking and, just being close to each other physically, doing those sorts of things. And then you can gradually increase. And then if the female is feeling uncomfortable with her body, then she needs to get to the point where she falls in love with herself again, physically. Okay. So, hey, if you feel as if, hey, I need to tune up, I need to do some stuff, hey, do that. But guess what? Still love yourself with all your curves and all of whatever you have, because your body is mature. Your body is beautiful the way it has, because it has created a whole other person. So love what you have. And if you feel as if, hey, you want to do some exercises and, firm up whatever you need to firm up, fine. But don't let that stop you.
Yes.
Because your spouse is loving all of you and then you're hating parts of yourself. That is going to interfere with your sex life. So take baby steps, work on what you need to work on physically, and sometimes it's just for us. Things that we need to do. Hey, if you need to go and get your spa days, you need to go and make yourself look beautiful, buy yourself some new clothes to wear and some sexy lingerie to make yourself feel beautiful. Whatever you need to do to get in that space, then you do that. If it's, hey, I want to take it slow, put on some nice music, let's get our room the way it needs to be. I just want to feel, hey, take me out. I want to wear a nice dress. I want to feel romance, and then lead to it, then do that. But the date nights are important because the date nights help you to connect intimately on an intimate level, and then it also help with the sex.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely start to learn We learn each other.
Yes,
Mhm.
and a word to put in front of all of what Linda would have said would be intentional.
Mhm.
Be intentional with everything that she would have said. Be intentional with the date nights. Be intentional with self care, taking care of yourself. Men, that goes for us. Ladies, be intentional. Be intentional
Mhm.
with everything. You would have heard all of the stories about the kids in the bed in the middle of the night. They're coming in the bed, X, Y,
Hmm.
Z, kids coming in the bed. So if the kids are coming in the bed, be intentional of going someplace else and
Make it happen.
and having sex with your spouse. So it's all a matter of being intentional.
Hey, we had to do that. We had to find another way. Sometimes we were like in the closet. You want to come in our bed? Okay, we're going in the closet.
because we have to remember also the kids are here. The kids will be here. So you have to make sure you be intentional with still doing things with your spouse, because
Mhm.
when the kids are gone, then what's gonna happen?
Mhm.
So you have to be intentional.
That's good. That's good. You know that it's important to be taught these things. I think some of us, especially if we grew up in the church, uh, you have to reprogram your thinking,
Mhm.
be retaught. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in wanting to be prim and proper that we miss out on God created our bodies to do exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yep. He
Why not
created sex.
enjoy it? Right. Well,
He
why
created
not
sex.
enjoy that with the person that he's given you? And
Mhm.
so we have to retrain our way of thinking so that we can learn to enjoy one another and enjoy our marriages.
And it's very important, especially for active people. And I'm not talking about sexually active, just active people. Your day-to-day life needs some relaxation. There was a study, a scientific study that took place in America here a few years ago, where they selected 10 males and they put them in 10 different rooms, and 5 of them were alone, and 5 others they were with their spouses, and all of them do the same job. And the result that came out was astonishing, where those who were, and the recommendation was this to the 5 men alone. They said you cannot perform any kind of sexual pleasure, any kind. You have to refrain yourself. So, and they had camera on them, and if you've been monitored, hey, there's things you can't do. And the other one, they didn't put a camera. They say just have sex at least once a day, but you can have it anytime you want. For 10 days, 7 days they were locked in. Then they got out. They've been put on the test, same test, and it happened that those who were sexually um, satisfied gave the best result, because emotionally, intellectually, physically, they were just right there at the peak. You know, and that's why it's very important that
Mhm.
spouses understand that sex is not always about you, but about your spouse. You know, it's important to know when you. I love what you say. You guys talking about admiring, your spouse body. Explore your spouse body. Develop a connection with your spouse body, because we are spirits, and this is just a house. But do you take care of that house? If I don't
Mhm.
know Nikia's body, I will never understand how that body works, or what works on the body, what needs to be kind of a work need to be done on that body. So I believe you guys just onto something that will revolution, sex life or intimacy.
I'm telling you, y'all, you're knowledge base in this area always astonishes me. So I appreciate the two of you, unique couples on Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter.
but it's unique couples 242 on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Follow them. Which group do you guys want them to join?
For married persons, it would be
How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group.
Yeah, and then
For the singles, it's How to Strengthen Your Relationship.
Unique couples.
Yes. Unique couples.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I guarantee you will gain knowledge, you will gain wisdom, you will know how to navigate in your relationship. The wisdom the two of them have, it is always above ground, above standard. And so I appreciate you, Vito and Linda. Thank you so much for joining us, for collaborating with us on this Love and Submission tour.
Yes.
Having you guys kick it off is truly an honor. And of course, I knew when I threw those topics out, I was like, I hope they choose it. I hope they choose it. And so when I got the email, I was like, yes. Thank you.
No, but I believe a lot of Christians here would be feel blessed, just to know that these topics can be mastered by fellow brothers and sisters. I was telling Nikia, it's a shame that church, and I'm not talking the pulpit, I'm talking about church as a whole, starting in homes, refuse to engage in those kind of educational route where a mother, just like the Bible said, the elder should teach the young girls how to respect the husband, how to adorn their own body, how to walk this married life. It's such a shame that we're more on casting demons, more on prosperity gospel, but really the things that will make a church strong. And I'm talking about solidifying relationship.
That's good. You guys have anything?
That is so true. That is so true. And the thing is just the simple things that you do, like Vito said, being intentional about. And when you're intentional about loving each other and even about your sex life, you can find fulfillment, because we know that, hey, God invented sex. People may make it seem and make you feel as if sex is a bad thing, as if the devil invented sex or whoever else invented sex, like it was something wrong, but that's not the case. God invented it and he designed it, and designed it beautifully. Like, have you ever get to the point where you're like, oh, like God, like really, like you designed this experience, and just to think and imagine what it would have been like without the sin condition. So can you imagine how even more beautiful that would have been? So enjoy the time that you spend with each other, be intentional about loving each other, and definitely keep that fan going in your relationship.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more and really have the marriage of your dreams, we're telling you, go ahead and join us in the marriage of your dreams, because you can have that. Sex is definitely included in that as well. Go ahead and register, join us for that, and see the transformation. We're all about transformation. It's not the information, because you can know a lot of stuff, but if you don't do it, nothing happens. And we're all about making sure the transformation, right? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That's good. Any last things, Vito?
Yeah, so just go ahead, come and join us in the Unique Couples How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group. We at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families.
Yeah.
So come and join us.
All right. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you all soon. Y'all have a good night.
Yes,
Okay.
you too.
Thank you too.
Too. Thanks for inviting us. Bye.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye-bye. You guys, it has been awesome. We had Eddie and Keena. We started it off a little rocky. We thought we were live and we really went live, but we got it together. So I am thankful for Eddie and Kina, Vito and Linda, for all that they have poured out to you all tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all of those who have joined us live. You all that will catch the replay. Put hashtag replay. Tell us where you are joining from. If you have any questions for these couples, please put those questions in the comments. Reach out to them, connect with them, follow them, subscribe to their YouTube pages, join their groups, and get from them what they have. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. We do not forget that we're not going to do next week because it is Easter.
Yeah.
Resurrection Sunday, but we will have April the 23rd. We're going to have Elijah and Maria Duran. We're going to have Demetric and Jennifer Norwood and John and Cece Crosby. The next week, April the 30th, we're going to have Shelton and Keyshawn Williams. I didn't miss both of their names.
Shelton and Keyshawn Williams.
Yeah, got it right.
Yes.
I got
this
William in there. Johnny and Tiffany Clark, and we will have Alfred and Roz Warren. You guys, this is going to be streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You do not want to miss it. It is going to continually be growing, and more wisdom, more understanding, and more treats. You all have a great night.
And more importantly, guys, you will live a healthy and sustainable marriage, and that's the goal. Do not skip the process. Do not skip, the mission. Like we said earlier, talking on Kina, Eddie and Kina's life, we said the goal doesn't change. However, upgrade your mission. That's the key, guys.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining. We'll talk to you soon.